Alright, for this first problem on the 4.3 extra practice, we are dealing with the graph of y equals 9 minus x squared. And we want to find area, estimate the area from -2 to 2 under the curve. So we're going from here to here. We're trying to estimate this whole area in that region a few different ways. For number one, we're using a left-hand Riemann sum with 4 equal subintervals. So if we're going from -2 to 2, if we subtract 2 minus -2, we get a distance of 4. And if we divide by the number of subintervals, which in this case is 4, we just get 1. So that formula that we've talked about before, our delta x, right, our change in x, or our base of our rectangles, is going to be b minus a over n. So b minus a, that's our interval here. A is -2, b is 2, divided by n, the number of subintervals. So we're going to break this up into 4 equal subintervals. Each one has a base of 1. So from -2 to -1, -1 to 0, 0 to 1, and 1 to 2. We have 4 little regions. Now, to create our rectangles, this is a left-hand Riemann sum. So that means if we're looking at this first region here, we're going to look at the left-hand side, which would be -2, and we're going to get the height of our rectangle from that x value. Right? X equals -2 for that interval. We're going to put -2 into the equation. So into this equation, we're going to put -2. And when we do that, we get 9 minus 4, which is 5. And you can kind of tell from the graph. That is where the height of our first rectangle is going to be. So this is our first rectangle. It has a base of 1 and a height of 5. So the area of the first one is 5. We need to figure out the other 3 rectangles. So for our second rectangle, we're going from -1 to 0. We're using the left-hand side to determine our height. So we have -1. If we put -1 into that equation, 9 minus -1 squared, we're just going to get 8. And again, you can kind of see that from the graph here, that we have a height of 8. So height of 8, base of 1, area of our second rectangle is going to be 8. Next rectangle, going from 0 to 1, we get our height from the left-hand side. Put 0 into this equation. So if we put 0 in here, we get 9 out. Right? That's going to be the height of this rectangle. So we have a base of 1, height of 9, area is going to be 9. And our last one, we're going from 1 to 2. The left-hand side, we're using 1 to find our height. So if we put 1 into our equation, 9 minus 1 squared gives us a height of 8 again. So it's just like this rectangle. Height of 8, base of 1, so our area is 8. So our estimated area for that curve is all 4 of these added up. So we end up getting 13, 22, 30 for our estimated area.